family. Thank you for joining me for yet another edition of Plant Dominant Dollars with Nina Fletcher. I am your host, Nina Fletcher. I am really proud of you guys. You're hitting me up with some really great questions. And I wanted to put out there that if you ever have a question that you want to ask me about one of the shows, you can always hit me up on the Facebook page, Plant Dominant Dollars with Nina Fletcher, or you can do what a lot of you are doing, which is to hit me up on the Facebook page for Facebook Messenger under Nina Fletcher. I never really put that out there, but some of you who are really into trying some of this stuff have figured out how to get me. So those are the two ways that you can actually get me. Or you can leave me a little message on the YouTube channel, because you watch me here on YouTube, right? Okay. Now, let's get cracking. So the question we're going to be addressing today is something that seems to be sort of stopping everybody from moving forward. I get it. I really do. So we're going to handle it. Milks. Okay? You're coming away from the dairy. You're trying to make the almond milks and the cashew milks, and you're coming out with grittiness. The taste is off. And a few other things that you've been mentioning that just aren't palatable. And the dilemma is that you don't want to go back to dairy milk. I figured today I will cover milk and a simple smoothie, because some of you guys are putting too much stuff in your smoothies. Stop. Make it easy on yourself. Okay? So let's get to it. Here are a couple things that we commonly make milk out of. I generally like to make my milks out of almond milk. So I have raw almonds here. You can also order your raw almonds on Amazon. You can get them from your local store. I'm not plugging nobody, but you know what I'm talking about. And they're pretty easy to find and buy in bulk. The second thing that people make almond milk out of, or make nut milks out of, would be cashews. So for all intents and purposes, I have to tell you the properties and the differences between the two nuts that I have found, okay? So with the cashews, if you are a whole milk drinker, you're going to get a thicker and creamier milk if you use cashews. But I will warn you, as I mentioned, I believe a little bit earlier, and I might have mentioned it during the macaroni and cheese video, okay? It has a very high fat content, which is awesome. It's great with making things creamy. You can put it in smoothies and stuff, but it is acidic, okay? So you don't want to have it like every day and all the time. Cashews is not something that I would say every day and all the time. So I sometimes opt for the almonds, or for almond milk, or for nut milks. Now, to be honest with you, if you are a 2% or skim milk drinker, the almonds would be better for you, because the milk tends to come out a little bit more or a little bit less thick. Okay, so keep that in mind. Whole milk drinkers, you're gonna like the cashew milk. 2%, 1% fat-free milk drinkers, you're gonna like this one. Okay, so keep that in mind. The second question was, do I soak or do I do my cashews dry? I'll be honest with you, I've done it both ways. It depends on how much of a rush I am in. If you choose to soak them, what you're going to do is put them in a ball jar. I've done this before, so I'm not going to show it. Put it in a ball jar, fill the ball jar up to the top, and maybe a cup or two of the nuts, and let them soak overnight, and then they'll be ready to process. Okay, so today we're going to make a regular milk, or a 2% or fat-free milk with the almond milk. Okay? And then we're going to make also a creamy chocolate milk with the cashews and I have some cacao nibs here. And if we have time, I'm going to show you how to incorporate those milks into a smoothie. Yum. All right, so let's get it. We're going to start with the easy first. Whether you're using soaked almonds or the dried ones, the soaked ones will probably give you a little bit of a creamier consistency, but I don't want the fact that you didn't soak almonds to get in the way of you doing what you need to do with the almonds, okay? So I've already rinsed those almonds, and we're going to put them, it's about a cup of them, in a Vitamixer, okay? Now that's the other thing. So it's actually 1 cup of nuts to 5 cups of water, okay? Or 4 cups depending on how the consistency of the milk you want, okay? So once you've done that, and I'll be completely honest with you here, it's a little bit different when you try to make it in the blender. Vitamixers, Ninjas, and NutriBullets actually make the best milk because they are high-powered blenders. It makes a difference in this particular recipe whether it's a regular blender. If you're using a regular blender, you're going to need to soak the nuts. No questions asked. And you're going to need to put it on liquefy and just leave it there blending for a minute. Okay? And then I'll show you what to do after that. So, let's put this on. And we'll be right back after it's finished. Okay, so now that the milk is done, okay, here's where you want to get the grit out. Now, here again, as I said, if you're using a blender or NutriBullet, soak those nuts. You want to soak them so it gets, it's a little bit easier for it to chop up. Now, let me explain what some of you guys are doing here. When I said strain it, you are listening, and some of you are using this thing right here. You can, but you'd have to use it 3 times. Okay? I'm talking about pour it through, dump, pour it through. It's possible, and that's the way I used to do it, to get commercial grade milk, but it's not the most practical way. This right here, guys, no. This is a colander. This is not going to work. Look at the size of the holes. So that's just a knot, okay? Here's how you do it. Don't laugh. Go right on up to CVS. Get you some granny hose. Okay? So you want to look at what I got. See? That is nude granny hose. The knee high, right? You take it, you bring it home, you rinse it. Now I'm showing you how to get commercial grade nut milk at home without having to strain it 3 and 4 times. Okay? You take it, stretch it over the top of the container. You see this? Pour it through the stocking. And strain. Now, there's more. Now you got to flavor it. And the pulp of the almonds can be used in beauty products, but we're not going to cover that today. We're going to cover that yet in another show. So let me just sit this right here, okay? And so we're going to deal with our almond milk that we just strained. Now notice, I only did it once. That's how you get commercial grade almond milk without the grit. You soak it, you strain it through granny hose and not through one of these, okay? So, some of you have asked Nina, how can we flavor this up? Okay, well, let's make this easy. You can use, and forgive me, my cap seems to be sticking here just a little bit. This is organic Madagascar vanilla. Drop about a teaspoon. Some people put a tablespoon of that up in there. It's all according to your taste. This is grade B maple, but I will tell you that, and I put about a tablespoon or two of that in the mixture. I have heard of people use honey. You can use that too. If you're a person who uses honey in your recipes, that is absolutely acceptable. No problems whatsoever. Okay? So, here we have vanilla almond milk made at home. And the good news about this is, okay, when you go in and you get certain brands, certain brands of the almond milk, they cost you a lot of money, okay? I just made the same amount, right? If you go and you get a pound of almonds, say for about maybe $10 or $11, right, for the entire pound of almonds, it's gonna last you 4 times as long as what you would buy in the store, and it's healthier. You get the health benefits. So you have homemade, commercial grade almond milk that will sit in your refrigerator, or that will sit in your refrigerator probably for the week, and it'll last real long. Beyond that, since it's a nut, you'll keep the remainder of them in the closet, which makes it plant dominant dollars. It won't go bad because the nuts stay in the closet. So there you have it, vanilla almond milk recipe, commercial grade, no grit. We made the regular milk, like the ones that you will put in your cereal. That's the vanilla almond milk that we just made. Now it's time for decadence. I mean, the curl up milk, right? Now you saw on the other video, I did hot chocolate. But I will tell you right now, if you decide to take cacao powder and make cold chocolate milk, you're going to be stirring all day because it doesn't always dissolve into cold items. You have to have that element of hot to get that creamy. So how do I get cold chocolate milk without cooking it? Ding, 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 ding. All right. For this, cashews. All right. So this is the one because the whole milk, you want the fullness. About a couple cashews up in that. Okay. I actually want to give my cashews just another quick rinse. I rinsed them before, but I want to give them another one. All right, so you're going to do the same measure, about a cup of cashews to 5 cups of water. 4 cups or 5 cups, depending on how thick you want your milk. Okay, so you're going to do that, and instead of cocoa powder, you are going to add about 2 tablespoons of cacao nibs. I'm going to show you what they look like. These are cacao nibs. They look like chocolate chips, but they can tend to be just a little bit bitter. They sort of give you the, if you've ever had espresso chocolate beans, that's what they give you the impression of the taste of. But you're going to take about 2 tablespoons of those, put them in with the mix, right? And then to curtail some of that bitter that's going on up in there, you're going to do, and this is healthy too, these are medjool dates. We talked about these before. They're full of proteins. So you're going to do about 2 medjool dates. Make sure you take the pits out of them. Okay? So after you've done that, on to the blender. Okay, so now just as the other process, you want commercial grade milk. So here we go. Take your granny hose, and yes, I'm not saying pantyhose, I'm saying granny hose. You want to go to CVS and get the one that's giving you like 6 in the pack for 99 cents. That's Plant Dominant Dollars. You'll never wear it, but it does do you some good. Okay. And it sort of becomes this cafe au lait kind of color, right? So what you want to do, go ahead and strain it. And you'll notice immediately you have, it's intensely creamy. The smell of chocolate is just gleaming. I'm fiending over here. So what you do is you strain it. And since the taste of coffee is so strong, it is incredibly strong. All right, so we have strained out our mixture. It smells of chocolate. Wonderful. So what you do, you already have medjool dates in there for sweetness. I always put just about a teaspoon of vanilla in there. Now, at this point, what you want to do is taste it, because sometimes I don't even need to put any sweetener in there, because I like a little bit of the bitter kick myself sometimes. But why not? We'll just put a little bit in there. Gravy, maple, or honey, however you guys are doing it. And what you have here chocolate milk. So you have the chocolate milk, commercial grade, and notice that it comes up to the top sometimes a little bit, give it a little bit of a shake, make sure the cap is nice and tight, and it comes right back together. Okay, so what you have is vanilla and chocolate milk. Now, another variation to this, when you make your vanilla milk, you can use soaked goji berries. They are a superfood. So you could have, just like you would have strawberry milk, I do goji berry milk. Okay? So all you do is when you put it in with the almonds and you blend it up, you slip a good handful of soaked goji berries in there, and you have goji berry milk, which is extremely excellent with all of your cereals, okay? And another thing that you can do with either one of the milks, when you're doing your mixture in the blender, you can cut just a little bit of, I'm just going to move this out of the way, just a little bit of aloe vera root. I'm going to show you how to do it real quick, and then I'll come back in another show. So in something that size, you just take probably about an inch piece, cut it off, and you cut all the green part off the outside. Now, I will tell you this, people tell you to soak it or rinse it at this point because the slimy bit that's on the outside of it is bitter. I do not. because that's where the healing properties are. Okay, and if you know anything about aloe vera, it heals. So if you drink it, it's also good for the inside part of your blood vessels, and it's also good for your stomach and intestines. Well, I think that's about all I have time for today. I hope I've been at least entertaining, if not educational, and answered some of your questions. I'm actually going to enjoy some of this milk real quick. Let's do the quick taste. Let me mix this up. Make sure you chill it though, because this is still a little bit warm since I took it out of there. Okay, chill it first. Yum, yum, yum. Extremely creamy and a lot of chocolate taste because of the cacao nibs. Excellent chocolate milk. I'm going to rinse. And I'm actually going to have a little bit of the vanilla milk if you don't mind. Forgive me. I just want to taste both. And that gives the 2% milk or the skim milk consistency. And equally as flavorful and delicious. And you get all of the benefits, the health benefits. So thank you for joining me for another edition of Plant Dominant Dollars with Nina Fletcher. Again, hope we answered your questions. Give it a try. Give up that dairy. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching Plant Dominant Dollars with Nina Fletcher. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in next week when Nina takes on.
The question for today is, what can I do to get rid of iced tea? Da, 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 da. The sorrel flower.
Here on Plant Dominant Dollars with Nina Fletcher. It's the genius.